Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to another edition of the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely even talked about for whatever reason. Now we are here tonight. We are here tonight. All of my friends always saying, "Oh, do part two, this and that, blah blah blah." Oh, I start too early, I end too early. Look here, it's NBA season. So shout out to everybody that watches the podcast live. Whether you watch it live or you don't watch it live or you watch it afterwards. Shout out to everybody that's tuning on on YouTube. And for those of you that catch the podcast after it's already been aired. So we're gonna talk about what we started to talk about yesterday, and a lot of people, was chiming in, and even after the fact, people still were messaging saying, "Oh, why cut it so short?" Listen, it's NBA season. Y'all gotta understand, it's basketball. Men don't check for nothing around this time when basketball season comes. Change, something that we don't like to talk about, and something that we don't care to talk about for whatever reason. As y'all know, change is a serious thing. Change is one of those things that people are afraid of. Change is one of those things that people don't accept. Why people don't accept? I don't know. Why do we run from change? I don't know. And especially in the 242, change is one of those things that we don't accept in the 242. Where there's relationship, some people know that person don't mean them no good. Rather them try to change and get out of that situation that they are in. They will make excuses like, "I know what I have, but I ain't know what I'm getting," because they're afraid of change. That goes for men and women. You got some women, the guy ain't worth diddly squat. He don't do anything. All he do is talk to you like a dog, treat you like you a slave, treat you like you a sex slave and all. And he doesn't have any consideration for you, but yet you still hold on. You still hold on. You still hold on. I can't have these head. No, man, these beats by Dre. I say, let's change that. From you. But in all seriousness, though, like we are afraid of change, especially in the 242. Anything that's out of our comfort zone, we would basically run from it, avoid it, or just pretend like it doesn't exist. And for some strange reason, like we get so complacent to the point where as we think that our situation is the norm. Like I had this friend of mine's, right? This dude used to black her eyes. When I say black her eyes, what's popping bubbles? This dude used to black her eye, purple, green, whatever color. This dude used to punks on her. This dude used to beat her so bad, and I used to be like, "Man, I ain't really trying to get in your relationship or in your business or whatever. But I mean, when are you gonna get tired? Jason, if he don't beat me, he don't love me." And I was like, "What?" I was so shocked. Like she actually said, if this dude don't beat her, then that means he don't love her. And I was like, "Man, you need to change that mindset." And she's like, "Jason, the same statement she made, Jason, I know what I got. I know what I getting into." Say, this everybody got their problems in their relationship. She was afraid of change. Like we can't be in situations where we so comfortable and we scared, we are afraid of change. Like change helps us to grow. Whether it's uncomfortable, whether it's not normal, there are some changes that we need to exceed. Even when you talk to people, right? Like I asked a few people, would you ever vote for a woman? Me? Never, but I can't never see no woman being no prime minister the head. Who's she gonna be running? Like we so comfortable with the normal stuff. It's like we are afraid of change. So I don't understand why we are afraid of change. I don't understand the reason we avoid change. But it's to a point where people people would say things like, you know, If it's working out fine, then why should I change it? Or if this situation ain't kill me, why should I change it? Even you know that situation isn't healthy for you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, like it's draining you, half killing you. And we say things like, oh well, this ain't for me. I don't think I need to change or whatever. I don't think it's time for me to change. God ain't ready for me to change, or certain stuff we say, like we say stuff, we say these things basically so we could, so we could be to a point where so we could be to a point where we accept the things that ain't normal. Like, oh, I already used to this, man. And I hate when people say that, including me, because I'm one of those people too. Like, yeah, I already used to doing it this way. This is the way I know how to do it. I ain't really changing. Even if the way I'm doing it don't make no sense. Ah, well, if I gotta sink in a ditch, let me sink in a ditch and let me see how that ditch look. When it shouldn't be like that. Change is inevitable. And a lot of people, especially in the Bahamas, we don't like change. We don't appreciate change. And the 242, boy, listen here. You try to tell somebody to leave their abusive man. How you could come and tell me leave this man and you got your own situation? That dude will be beaten on their bad. And especially some of these women too. Some of these men, you can't tell them to leave their girls because they be like, boy, I love that dog. This woman she got you in the phone as BC. She got her homeboy in the phone as Alive. And she got homie down the road as Lil Cutter. And you seeing all these things. And I'd be like, boy, dog, you think this makes sense? You could do better. No, boy, what, boy? I got to try and make this work, boy. Boy, I don't want nobody else to have that dog. What, me? So we have to come to a point in our lives where we are not afraid of change. As y'all can see, this COVID-19 situation that's going on in the 242, it's forcing us to change and adapt. And if you don't change, even your mindset, if you don't change your mindset, trust me, you will probably end up in Sandlands, or you will end up somewhere where you don't even want to be, mentally, physically, emotionally, because we are afraid of change. And especially in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Anything that goes against what we are accustomed doing to do, we ain't even interested. And why sometimes you ask these people why they doing what they doing. I don't know. I just been doing it so long. They have no idea, realistically speaking, like what they're doing. None. It's like they so accustomed to this way of doing things, they have no idea. No idea. Like I was asking somebody, right? Why they gotta do this? I can't say exactly what they do, right? I said, man, why they gotta do this thing? What they was doing. It was like, dog, I don't know, dog. My old man used to do this, so I just doing it. And I, dog, it ain't making no sense, dog. And be like, wait, I don't know, dog. Some people do things and they are afraid to change. Like if you see that you're doing a certain thing, right? And you're getting the same results, then you have to change your approach. If you see it, right, let's say you have a screwdriver, right? And you notice the screw requires a flat, but you're using a Philip, and you just right there with that Philip, this could wake, this could turn on. And you know for a fact you got to change that Phillips screwdriver to a flat. But no, you want to we just want to be so complacent and asinine and moronic to the fact to where we just take that Phillips screwdriver right there, thinking it's going to magically turn the screw. You got to change. And we are afraid of change. We should not be to a point in our lives where we just living comfortably, not even comfortably, in complacency. Like the Bahamas have gotten a place to a place of complacency. Like we fully rely on the government to save us. Like we can't save ourselves. And this isn't even what this topic is about. You know, this topic don't have nothing to do with the government. But we have become so dependent on the powers that be. We expect the government to feed us, pay our bills, clothe us. And I'm not even talking about this COVID situation now. I'm not even talking, I'm being realistic. Not even talking about this COVID situation. Like we expect the government to do everything for us. We want them to give us money. We want them to pay our bills. Shoots, if they could cut our grass, we want them to do that too. We want them to give us back the school supplies. We want them to cut our children hair. We want them to buy us uniform. It's like we just want to lay back and just, you know, we just want to lay back to a point to whereas we have them doing everything for us. Like we got to this point of complacency. That's why when election come after 5 years, we go swing that way. This one come with these nice promises, we swing this way. We don't realistically think and analyze like what we doing. You know, this person gave me $100. Well, that's who I going with. They gave me $100. This person gave me $500. We go that way. That's why this person gave me $500. Like we got to change our perception, even the way we think and visualize. Like we've been doing these things for over and over for years and years, no results. And we comfortable. We comfortable. We comfortable. When I say we comfortable, I mean we comfortable. You got people, realistically speaking, you got people, they don't care. They'll die doing certain things the way that they know how to do it. And that way might not necessarily be right, you know. They'll die. If it's up to them, especially when the banks forcing us to go. The banks, the place that you pay bills, all of them are forcing us basically to go digital. Man, I heard some people saying, "Mother said, no, man, I want to see my money get to the counter, man. I want to see my money go in that transaction. I want to see my money touch that person hand." I was like, "Mother said, nobody, what? But yeah, I don't need to use no ATM card. What are you using an ATM card for? Why am I going to the ATM? And I know, man, I want to give my money to the teller." I told this person, listen, man, gone are the days when you have to go to BEC to pay your bills, right? Mother, what I said that for? What you mean I don't have to go to BEC to pay? I said, man, you can pay online. Online? I didn't do computers in school. Why I want to do it now? I said, man, you could always learn. Learn what? Learn what? And listen, they row and say, look here, they want to see their money handed to cash for their bills. I was like, well, mother said. You will be surprised the way that some people think. Only thing in life that is constant is change. But only closed-minded people refuse to accept change, refuse to accept when they're wrong. They just living a life of refusal. So true. And sometimes I fall in those categories too. I refuse to accept change. Boy, especially saying wrong, boy, y'all know people don't like to admit they're wrong, especially me. I don't think I live a life. I think I live a transparent life to know when I disgusting and horrible. But it's true. The only thing that is constant in life is change. And people might think it's funny, right? But listen, you got some people, they have some knives, right, in their house, right? Those knives can't even cut nothing no more. When I say they're dull, when you sharpen them, they still can't. When I say still, they still can't even cut a simple fruit. Yes, right? And you would approach them and be like, man, why you don't get some new knives? You know how long I had these knives? And you want me just to throw them away? Man, I had these knives long time. And you want me just to throw away my knives? Boy, Jason, you don't know how long I had these knives. And I'm like, man, it's time to change the knives. Change what? Boy, these knives been around from before you've been around. And I'm like, well, what? The knife ain't cutting. It's dull. It's 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 already it's already to the point where it's gone. When I say gone, gone. It's already to the point where. So how in the world? How in the world could you not see that your knives need to change? And that's another thing with change. Like as simple as changing a knife, you can't change your knife. What the shit? Boy, listen. And we as people, we don't like change, you know. Anytime somebody bring a new idea, we don't want it. What? That don't sound right. That don't what? That don't sound right. No man, this don't make no sense, man. It could make all the sense, you know. Let me give you all an example, right? So I was going out with somebody, right? And I said, man, look here. I said, listen, the banks are open 9:30, right? And I said, listen, a lot of people are gonna be there prior to the bank opening 9:30, right? And I said, man, to beat the long lines, let's beat to the bank for like 9 o'clock so we could have a nice position at 9. No, but I've been going to the bank 9 from the bank open up 9:30 all my life. All my life I've been going to the bank open up 9:30 and I always get in on time. I said, man, this is a different situation. You got to change your perspective. I say, man, you this COVID. I say, you gotta understand. It ain't the same right at this moment. Boy, baller, boy, you can't tell me, dog. I've been doing this from before you was born. I say, bro, I need to be to the bank for 9 o'clock, please, so I can have a good position at 9. No, boy, baller, boy, I telling you, once I reach to the bank 9:30, I always to the front of the line. As simple as that, right? As simple as that. I said, change your perspective. So I said, okay then. I wasn't a driver. I'm hiking, right? I said, okay then. Went to the bank 9:30, right? 9:30 we went to the bank. The bank line wrapped around, all in the road. Homie gonna say, oh, mother flip, I should have came here earlier. Right? It's like, change. The big what if. It's almost like you're afraid. So you want to stay in that comfort zone. And I understand that, I understand change can be frightening. Because that's the known fact, Shelly. Like change can be very frightening. It's the fear of the unknown, we call it, like the branch out in that area, because we know where we are and it's like a safe zone, so to speak, a comfort zone, which aka safe zone, and we feel like we don't want to branch out, right? Sometimes you just have to go put yourself out, because change, listen, it's like I said in 242. We've been doing things for so long the same way for years and years and years, and we've been getting the same results for years and years and years. This the comfort zone. This the comfort zone to the point where we so comfortable. It's like we just in this comfort zone in our lives, right? And I speaking from personal experience too. In our lives, where we so comfortable to it becomes complacency. Being comfortable can lead to complacency and all kind of things going on. Everything around us is evolving, and we just right there in the center, especially us in the 242. The whole world is evolving around us. The whole world is evolving around us. And we still want to go to BC and total long line and pay bills over the corner. We still going inside the bank talking about we going to deposit money and the ATM does the same thing. Some of us, me, it isn't that we don't accept change. It's that we love sequence and patterns. We love to do certain things a certain way for years. Changing that, we feel off balance and mix up. I welcome change, but oh, I hate breaking a pattern. Boy, that's being comfortable. Sometimes patterns can lead to our detriment too, because like I always tell people, right? Anytime somebody driving me, they always say, man, why you going this way instead of, and you went this way yesterday? I said, listen, you got to change your route because you don't know who might be observing you, your movements, to see that you're going this way, that way, and this the place where you're going to be at this certain time. You got to change your route to get different results. You have to learn, especially me, we have to learn how to change our patterns. I rather face the uncertainty of the future than to live in the comfort of the past. I love that. Oh, let me read this comment. I gotta post it up on the screen and read it from my phone because it don't show. In a mathematical term, individual needs to think about change as a variable. Changes take place amongst us every day. 1, a baby changes features. 2, in the workplace, there are more efficient and effective ways to complete a task. I love that one because, boy. 3, COVID-19 fostered change. Unemployment, masks required, sanitation protocols. There are only a few. I don't believe people are afraid of change. They are simply set in their ways. Boy, that's a known fact. They are set in their ways. They would complain, but they won't react to how change because this has become the norm for them. Mother flip, Trail, you hit the nail on the head, Trail. I like that. I like that. I like the part where she said, these are only a few. I don't believe people are afraid of change. They are simply set in their ways. They would complain, but they won't react to have change because this has become the norm for them. Mother, you speaking about Bohemians right in the 242. She's speaking about us. She talking about us. Listen, we are so set in our ways, whether it's political, whether it's spiritual, whether it's political, spiritual, whether it's emotional, it's like we can't see past these things. And we set, and we always complaining, oh, this ain't happening, and that ain't happening, and this and that ain't happening. And guess what? We are afraid to actually take a leap of faith to make those changes, to make it happen. Like you can't be comfortable or set in your ways to the point that you blind. Like we can't be asinine and moronic and barbaric when the world is evolving around us. Especially me personally. Like we do things the same way over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Like I asked somebody, right? How long do they take before they change their oil? They be like, boy, look here, the longer you have that oil there, the more flavor the food gets. I was like, no, man, you got to change the oil. Change what oil? I was like, hold on, man. Listen. Say, the longer the oil there, the more flavor it is. I say, man, no, man, you got to change the oil, man. You can't be like that. You can't have the oil. I know some people recycle oil, right? I mean, I know we grew up in the old school, man, but after you already recycle that oil 1, 2, or 3 times, man, the oil got to change. Change what? And that's where all the flavor is, Jay said. Said, change the oil, man. That's why some of your food, your chicken tastes like pork chop, and your pork chop tastes like chicken, and your fish tastes like chicken, and your chicken tastes like fish. Change the oil. And look here. Anyway, for those of you that are just tuning in, this is the Gray Area Podcast where we talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about for whatever reason. If you're here right now, whether you're on the feed, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, share that link, share, share. Say change what oil? No, Shelly, Listen, I don't want nobody to think I'm better than anybody, because some of y'all like come for me when I offline, and y'all like, think I throwing jobs at y'all. But I'm only keeping it transparent and real. This is the gray area. Shelly, there's no way you could tell me you had that same oil from January, July, and you have the same oil. No, you got to change the oil, man. You got to change the oil. That's all I told him. I said, look here, you have to change the oil, because after a while, the oil starts to taste little archy, or, like taste little like chalkish, and it tastes a little funny. So you got to change the oil. Change what oil? And this where all the flavor is. Listen, that's why I rarely eat out, because you don't know what these people doing. Change, like we need to embrace change, man. We need to embrace change. Like, if you look at it, right? If you look at it, let's use technology. Let's use phones. Long time ago, I don't know about y'all, but long time ago, I never forget this, because my ex at that time, she used to buy minutes for us to text. Texting was like 10 cents, 10 to 15 cents per text. There wasn't no BBM. And how we used to communicate, BTC had a glitch to where we used to send voice notes back and forth. So you could send somebody a voice note, and they send you a voice note. So that's how technology was back then, right? Now, the whole world around us was sending messages through the phone besides text. Then BTC now, they evolved. And now, as you can see, we text into WhatsApp, FaceTime, and so forth. We have all these means of technology now. So now that's changed. You got some people to this day. I mean, to this day. I said, man, why you don't get one smartphone, man? Boy, look here. But I need no smartphone, dog. What you mean you don't need no smartphone? I save you money. Always crying broke. Ain't got no minutes. When you have data on your phone, you all know, man. Behemoths know how to stretch data. We suck Wi-Fi here and there. We go by all these hotspots. And now COVID, we got Wi-Fi. Oh, man, I never have no minutes, this and that. So get a smartphone. No, man, I can't afford that right now. Now, keep in mind that you can get a smartphone for $50. Just the WhatsApp and text. Like, you got to evolve with the times. Like, we so comfortable. I mean, we real comfortable in our mindset and our ways. And we afraid of change. Man, listen, I can't stress this enough. We need to embrace change, and good change. And good, when I say good change, we have to embrace good change. Like, why people are so afraid of change? You got some people, right? They haven't changed their underwear, their wardrobe for their underwear for like 2 years. These underwear got holes. Flipping tail. Come on, man. Change. And you got some people, you got some dudes, they wouldn't change their pants, they boxers, what they had for 10 years too. You see, they like to walk with their pants down when you look the hole and they flick in boxes, right? Then the next day, the hole in that same boxes. Like, come on, man. you gotta reach the point where it's all fun and jokes aside, right? Because I being serious, it might be funny, right? But dead serious. Like, we have to want to embrace change. Like, everybody's afraid of change. Change won't kill you. You won't die. Like, you literally won't die. And especially for people who their current situation isn't matching to their potential. Like, if your current situation isn't matching or living up to your potential, then you got to change the way you do things, especially in these relationships, man. Like, I see people I see people in relationships where, when I say it's bad, I mean it's horrible. When I say horrible, I'm talking about abuse, verbally, physically, sexually, right? And then they'll stay because they are so dependent on the individual. And this is not knocking any woman that's in that situation, because because that could be like a stronghold in a way. I'm just saying, when you talk to these people, you be like, they be like, child, I ain't going nowhere, man. Everybody's fighting. Everybody had that. That's when I have that problem. It's like you're comfortable, complacent, being complacent in the situation. That ain't. It just don't make no sense. We have to want to do better. We have to want to do better in our lives, especially if you, like I always tell people, right? If you notice, you've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, right? And you notice you ain't getting no new results. It's just the same old, same old, same old. You gotta decide to do something different. You gotta, like I said yesterday, right? I've spoken to some people and I said, man, I said, boy, you should die at PLP. I said, would you vote for somebody else? Man, they said, look at my ma was PLP, my Grammy was PLP, my great Grammy was PLP, and I believe her Grammy was PLP. So you think I'll vote for anything else? I was like, suppose another candidate come forward, right? And like they bring in, like a good vibe, or they bringing you something new, or they trying to expose you to something. But I don't care, but who they bring, but if they put a dog for PLP, I'll vote for PLP. I ask the same questions to some diehard F&M. Listen, would you ever vote for anybody else besides the F&M? But my daddy was the F&M dog, and his mommy was the F&M, and his daddy was the F&M. My daddy was the F&M dog. Would I look like voting for anybody else? On the same day, man. So what happens if somebody else bring an X, a strong candidate or whatever? Would you consider? But you ain't hear me, a baller. I'm gonna vote F&M till I die. Nah, I'm not political. I'm just saying, ain't nobody wanna change. I'm being real. That's what causing the country. They afraid of change. Yes, we afraid of change, man. Whether we believe it or not, we afraid of change. It's like we scared to go, we scared to do a leap of faith. And a lot of behemoths talented, right? A lot of behemoths talented, right? And they doing things for other people what they could be doing for themselves. Like behemoths are one of the most talented Caribbean people in the world, hands down. They good with their hands. They'll break bread. They'll cook, and they'll flipping cause you don't want to eat nowhere else. And you tell them, man, why you don't start your own business, man? Man, I only like doing this for people, man. So you like doing it for free? No, man. You gotta change your mindset to wanna push yourself out there. Like this time now, you see a lot of people now tapping into their crafts. This is the first time I've seen so much new businesses. I was like, mother sick, these people had these talents long time. Like we are afraid of change. Even we are afraid of even cultural change. We have this cultural change. We have this cultural thing, like especially as a culture, we are afraid of change. Like we have this thing, whereas we'd encourage our children to don't date this person, this national, that nationality, right? And sometimes it be these same nationalities. You will find a Chinese who love your child more than than an American. Like my friend married a Chinese, and she told me, said that's the happiest she ever been. That man loved the dirt she walk on. Like we so listen. Y'all might not believe. Oh, let me read this thing. There are a lot of people that be scared to post their comments on here because they don't want their people to see them. Okay, here we go. Boy, Jason, politically speaking, yes, we are afraid of change. And I myself, I'm in that. I've been voting the F&M for the last 5 years. For the last 5 years? I think she mean the last 5 times she voted, I guess. And ain't no dog, rat, or cat could make me vote otherwise. I don't care if the F&M put forward a goat. I'll vote for that goat. It ain't that we afraid of change. You gotta give a good change. Boy, y'all see, y'all see. Listen, y'all see what she said? Mm, mm. She said if the FNM put forward a goat, she'll vote for that goat. Let me read the comment from my PLP friend now. Jason, don't call my name on the show, please. Listen, I know you throwing shade at me. I've been voting PLP all my life, and it's gonna be just that. Like you said, my ma was PLP, her ma was PLP, and I sure my great Grammy was PLP. So, Jason, it ain't that we afraid of change, Jason. It's just that that's how it gotta be. That's how the cookie crumble. I don't understand this other part. That's how the cookie crumble. La da 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 da. Nevertheless, I understand where you're coming from. I guess I'm not ready for anything else. Boy, look at you all think that this real talk. You got people, and they from two of my different friends. One is a diehard FNM, one is a diehard. One say if they put a goat there, they'll vote for the goat. The other one said that's what she been doing all her life, and it ain't gonna change now. If I had the chance, I would marry a Chinese man. They in toxic relationship. They ain't want to post here. Boy, listen, you'll be surprised these messages, Oh, speaking of relationship, a friend of mine wanted me to read her comment based on relationship. Change, y'all. Stop being afraid of change. What's poppin', Biggie? I gotta keep this comment right up on here. Let me find this. Jason, you always talking about, let me try to read this in their voice. Jason, you always talking about leaving these relationships like it's so easy. Yes, you want to change. Then again, what happens when your heart is attached? It's not that we like bad treatment, It's not that. It's just that we attach ourselves to the bad treatment and we are okay. We have gotten to a point to where we are now thinking that I know what I'm getting and what he's dealing with. I know what sort of abuse I'm getting, whether it's verbal, emotional, or whatever. But I don't know what I'm getting out there starting over. So don't talk about change like it's easy because you yourself know change isn't easy. You've been this way for years, cold hearted, and you haven't changed yet. So change isn't easy. Should I be here in this current relationship of mine? No. Then again, why am I going out there to get the same thing with somebody else? To get the same thing with somebody else and get my heart broken. I know where my heart is right now. Boy, listen. Ugh, let me drink some water. Change. But y'all see, I mean, that's a prime example. Like, I'm not calling her name, and I wouldn't do that because, I respect everybody in their privacy. But y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, you know that your current situation isn't good for you. But I feel that you're afraid of change because you're saying that you know the situation that you're in is wrong, but you fearing the unknown. You wouldn't know what's out there unless you put your foot out there. And I feel like people should use like bad relationships as stepping stone. These are the signs, and once this person do this or whatever or do that to you, then you know, look here, I gotta see my exit, or I can't deal with this because I've already been through this before. So let me just vamonos. You know what I mean? You can't be afraid to say, man, look here, let me just leave this relationship because you don't know what you're getting. You shouldn't live your life like that. I know I ain't Dr. Phil and I'm not Maury and all them qualified people to talk to people or whatever, but come on. You can't live your life. You can't live your life like that, man. When I say you can't live your life like that, you can't live your life just complacent to the point whereas, man, simply because you don't know what you could get out there, so you stay in a situation you ain't happy. I ain't happy, baby. You're skinny, you was thick, you had shape, and now, just no offense to skinny people because y'all know I'm skinny, and now you're skinny. You look like, you got something. Stress eating you, killing you. You can't go with sense because your phone always ringing off. Man, that's toxic, man. That's toxicity at its best. And if anybody who is comfortable and being in a toxic situation, man, come on, man. You can't be comfortable in toxic situations. You just listen, you just can't. I always tell people if a situation don't line up with your potential, you shouldn't be there. You can't be there. Candy says some people manipulate you thinking you're in a good relationship. And that's so true. And manipulation is a serious thing. The problem is, Candy, like some people know they're being manipulated and they are right. Like when you reach to the point where you understand, like, yeah, okay, this manipulation, I gotta, okay, this ain't make no sense. They just manipulative, and they just, manipulating me, treat me any kind of way, make me believe that I'm the bad person all the time. It's me, 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 never taking accountability. The minute you can identify these characteristics and these traits, and you see, like, there's like no progress. Like, you can't be in a situation for 10 years, whether it's job wise, relationship wise, church wise, and you ain't seeing no changes, no progress, no growth, and you still there. No, man, come on. But manipulation is a serious thing, Candy. And that word, who you think would manipulate you will manipulate you. And it's so sad. It's so sad. Like, it's so sad that we are manipulated on our jobs. We are manipulated by political parties. We are manipulated by friends. We are manipulated by family. Like, especially families, families are one of the stagnant growths in our society because they are so accustomed to doing certain things a certain way, and if you break that, like, everybody went to school to be a doctor or a nurse. Now they want you to go to school to be a doctor or nurse. I don't want to be dealing with no sick people. I want to go make pizza at Domino's. Oh, you want to make pizza? Well, what kind of person want to make pizza? That's what I'm good at. I'm good at making pizza. Well, child, ain't nobody raised you to make pizza. You going to school to be a doctor or a nurse. Like, even family got to change their mentality that, hey, okay, I went through this and you have to go through it too. No, no, you went through that to save me from going through it. I shouldn't have to go through what you went through, or because your dream and aspirations didn't come through, and now you don't want to change the family trend. Now you want to, manipulation is witchcraft. Boy, that's a serious thing. That's like they working OBL on your mind. The gray area, folks, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely even talked about for whatever reason. Okay, let's go. Comment. Jason, church is one of those changes too. I've been going to this church for years and years. And listen, I haven't seen myself grow spiritually for nothing. I don't feel the Spirit. I don't feel the Holy Ghost. I don't even know if the Holy Ghost exists anymore. It's like every Sunday it's the same routine, same old routine, same old routine. You go to church, you listen, you pay your offering, then they beg you for tithes, post the name up on the board saying you don't pay your tithes. Oh Lord. And then you go home. No deliverance, nothing. These churches in the Bahamas need to change. All they want money and talking about plant a seed or sow a seed when the word should be free. I feel like these churches been exposed to COVID. Now it's time to change. How much churches now been at the forefront since COVID? Rarely, rarely, rarely a few. That's just my 5 cents. These churches need to change. Boy, look here. That's another thing too. These churches need to change. All they want to do is preach but prosperity. Preach everything is prosperity, prosperity. Plant a seed, you get blessed 1,000,000 times. Sow the seed of $500 and watch it increase this and that all the time now. You there, you got 10 other children. You ain't forgiving nobody. Your heart black like mine. You don't talk to nobody for years. You cut them off like me. And now the man tell you now, so this $500 seed, you go on take your ASU money, so that $500, and then you wondering why he not happening. You know why? Change. Listen, and it's sad because she said she been going there to that church for so long, and she don't even see no growth in herself. Like, well, it's crazy for you to be going somewhere talking about church, and you ain't seeing no growth. Mother said, Jason, I I agree with that last comment. I've been to 3 different churches and all the same. The problem ain't me. When they ain't asking for money, they begging you for tithes, making you feel like you're going to hell for not paying your tithes. Sometimes you don't even have it. What happens if I don't have no money to sow no offering? And then they want to make it seem like they want to bless you because you won't have it. Bless those that didn't have to give, so next time they have to give. These churches need to change. And I've learned through COVID that these churches full of, you know what, I can't say the word. These churches full of, I haven't seen a handful of them except for the bishop in the Grove giving away food and a few other small churches. These churches making all the $1,000,000, all the millions of dollars, and yet they can't help you with one bag of grocery while they getting fat and talking about so $100. Man, I saw a couple videos earlier during COVID where they were saying you could sow your tithes online. Where these tithe money's going? These same tithes supposed to be helping. They need to change. Ain't no deliverance in these churches these days. That's why nobody getting healing. Everybody's sick. All of this, boy, this a long, listen, face you on, man. Don't say no more long stuff, man. All all this COVID going around, and yet these churches silent. Why they don't pray COVID away? Oh yeah, I ain't getting in there. Change. Mm, 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 mm. Y'all, let's not be afraid to accept change, man. Change is something. Change is something that we need. We need to accept. And when I say accept, I'm not talking about change that's going to cause harm or cause detriment to yourself. Now, I'm talking about change that will help you to boost yourself, boost your environment, boost those that are around you. You know what I mean? Like you gotta understand. As long as the change, as long as the change is beneficial, don't run from it, man. Like why do we run from change? Especially if you see you've been with these deadbeats for years and they keep selling you dreams. That man been with you for 13 years, promising to marry you. Yet that serious man won't marry you and you still holding on to that joker. 13 years. Change. You've been sleeping on that talent all these years. You know that talent is an avenue for you to make money. Yet still, oh, I scared, man. What if ain't nobody support me? So what? Everything start off slow. And some of us, we are so gifted, man. I gotta say this again. We so gifted. We are afraid of what others are gonna think about when we start these little ideas, what we have going on. We have like so much ideas. We are afraid what others could think. What if ain't nobody support me? You would be surprised who support you. We got to change our mindset and change our approach, man. Change how we do things, especially now. I hope COVID teaches like we need to come up with ideas. We need to change into a new direction. Come up with ideas to say, "Mother said, this won't catch me slipping again. This situation won't catch me slipping. If this ever happened to me again, I'll be ready. I'll be flipping ready." Like we have to change our mindset. And it's, I always talking about my friends about saving. Even though I owe all these banks all this money, y'all know our government workers, because we like to borrow loan from 3 banks and paying 3 different loans. Listen, we need to change that too. Government workers, we need to change. We need to stop going to these banks, getting all kind of loans, especially the 3 different other loan organizations. We have 3, 4 loans. We need to change that too, man. Then when we get our little salary, we left for one little 1,200 or something. 12, $1,300. Can't do nothing. You gotta pay your bills. And you wondering why. Change, man. And you know what need to change too? Stop going to the bank all the time to buy a car. You already match this car, then you go back to the bank, get another loan for another car. We gotta change, man. Listen, let me tell y'all a smart way to beat the bank, you know. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell you a smart way to beat the bank. You go to the bank, right? You borrow. Let's say you want borrow a little. I think the smallest money they give you $3 grand. So let's say you borrow $5 grand, right? Right? You take that $5 grand. You know they kill you with the interest. So you take that $5 grand, right? Then you take that same $5 grand. You take that and you deposit that in the credit union. You know what I mean? You just leave that there in the credit union and pay off your little $5 grand. You get a little extra money. You go over the counter, right? You just go over the counter, pay them a little something. And they be like, man, say, man, I would just put this on the principal. Just pay them off. When you look, bam, your loan finished dead fast. You pay off the interest. And you go back and say, man, I need another $5 grand. And you take that same $5 grand again, and bam, you put that on top of the other $5 grand, what you got. You leave that right in the credit union just sitting there. And you go, you pay it off. You know, you get salary deduction. You know, they don't allow you to pay it so high that the payment be so low. The bank like to let you a loan for 10 grand and they say, we can do it for $90 a month. We won't kill you. When you have an extra 90, you go there, put that the principal. Bam. Then when you see, they wonder how you paying off these loans so fast. Then bam, you go back into another $5 grand. Boom. Take that same $5 grand again. Bam, put it in the credit union. You gotta change the way you think, man. Now I didn't tell you I'll take the money you then cry later, man. Because you all know you all need to change from taking all your salaries and spending them out. You all like to spend. I know somebody who will take $1,200 and spend all of that out, and they wouldn't even feel nothing. And then later, mother flip, I lose 1,200 just like that. No, man, you gotta change. You gotta change. And you all women, when these man give you all money, see some of you all so dumb. Oh Lord, I hate calling people dumb. I'm trying to change. When this man giving you all these $100 and $2 and thing, take that money and deposit that man. You will go buy and weave and Remy. And you know you could fix it. You want to spend listen, one couple of years ago, my heart almost sank, I saw Abby got this Remy. I said, man, I started eavesdrop on her and this girl talking. And the girl say, how much you pay for that? I paid $400 some dollars. I say $400 some dollars on weave? Mother flip on weave? Wait, you know what $400 could do for me? I'll buy one shirt, pants, and tennis and still have change. When these man them give you all money and thing, listen, you all need to take that money, deposit that bad boy. You can't have the man giving you money and you just spending the money, man. You can't be that dumb now. You can't. Let me get off this live. Shout out to everybody that watches the podcast live, and shout out to everybody that watches the podcast after it's aired live. Change. I think we need to bring this back again, man. This heavy on me, man. Change. We gotta listen. And you know what we need to change to? Change our tolerance. Like we tolerate so much things to the point where it becomes complacency. Let's change from being complacent. Anyway, let me get off this podcast because we'll be talking about change all night. And you know what, man, hold on, man, before I go. Listen, I understand COVID been here from maybe March. I think March. I can't remember March. Y'all women gotta change these weave and thing. You can't have these weaves in your hair for 3-5 months and thing, man. Come on, man. And then come on, man. You can't have these weaves in your hair for 3-5 months. Weaves supposed to last that long? And then you're spraying them with them scented things to make them smell good. No, man, them Remy and thing gotta change. Change them Remy. 5 months. Listen, I'm not calling nobody near. But Remy, 5 months? You up Remy and you have 5 months and you wouldn't even change it? Mother flip. Change, man. Change the Remy out your hair. Or take it out and wash it and then put it back in, man. And then when you take off the Remy, all of this gone. So it ain't change. You didn't know the glue eating it out. Right? The glue eating out the hair. So if you know the glue is damaging your hair, then sew the bad boy in. Do the lace, the little what you call the thing? Lace. Look here, you all need to check out Tanash.b. She makes them caps. There's some nice caps, man. Them weave cap, nice, smooth, 100% hair. Y'all check out Tenaj.b, TENAJ.b. Get yourself some new weave, man. And some of y'all with these gold teeth in for years, they ain't supposed to be in your mouth all these years, They supposed to come out. That's why when you pull them out, the teeth be rotten. Okay, go to the doctor, take them out, change them, get a new gold teeth, put it back in. Anyway, I go on, man. Because people like to say I coming for them. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about for whatever reason. You all know what to do. Share, like, share, subscribe, change. I'm out.